When you think of public transport in Cuba, you will probably imagine decrepit old buses and trains that barely stay on the tracks. However, in recent years, these have been replaced with new Chinese-built versions of both, bringing the country kicking and screaming into the 21st century. Today, we'll be checking out one of those buses on a 7-hour intercity trip to the capital, so let's go! Welcome to the old colonial town of Trinidad, located in the centre of the Caribbean's largest island and home to 76,000 people. It is certainly a vibe here. I found it much more Cuban than even Havana. Just look at these old buildings. Trinidad has also been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1988, as the best preserved settlement in the Caribbean to the 18th and 19th century sugar trade. Okay, let's head to the bus station, located a 5-minute walk from the town centre. The cobbled streets certainly make it interesting trying to pull your suitcase along though. At this point, I wasn't 100% sure what type of bus I would be travelling on today, so I was hoping and praying it wasn't this one here. First, let's head inside the air-conditioned waiting room to check in. There are around 20 seats and a toilet in here, but not much else. Once you've shown the man at the desk your e-ticket and passport, he will tag your checked bags and you can head outside and to the right to drop them off with the luggage man. Shortly after I'd completed this, and around 20 minutes before scheduled departure time, a much nicer bus reverses in, and luckily this will be our transport for today. Apart from this being from Chinese manufacturer Yutong, I have no other information on it, I'm afraid. Not sure how the Ferrari badge fits in though. Before we get on board, let's check out today's route from Trinidad to Havana. We will travel in a northwesterly direction throughout the trip, calling at just Cienfuegos and then Havana Airport before terminating at the city's main bus station. There is no step-free access at all or any provision for boarding or seating people in wheelchairs. There is a single class of travel with all seating in a 2+2 layout. It's already pretty full in here, with the bus having started its journey a few hours prior. There is no allocated seating either, so just pick any empty one. Fortunately, the middle rear one was free, which gave me extra legroom. We depart pretty much on time at 9:50 AM. The total route is 350 kilometers in distance and is scheduled to take 7 hours and 35 minutes of travel time, with 2 intermediate stops and a lunch break, arriving at 5:25 PM. Tickets on this route cost €26 for foreigners. Children get a 50% discount and under 5s travel free, but don't get their own seat. They are fixed and not dynamic, so always cost the same no matter when you book. Locals can use this service at much reduced prices, but most use even cheaper options instead. You can book direct on the Viazul website, pay online with international Visa or MasterCards, and the e-tickets will be emailed straight to you. All payments are processed in euros. Shortly after departure, we skirt the southern Caribbean coast for a while, before heading inland to call at today's only passenger stop outside of Havana. Unfortunately, the bus window views will be limited due to my middle seat location, but I will try. Cienfuegos is Cuba's 9th largest city, being home to 187,000 people. It is the main energy and industrial hub outside of Havana, with the name literally translating to 100 fires. We call it the main bus station here, where around 15 people alight and another 10 or so board. Introducing the new Level 8 Adventurer 20-inch carry-on case. It has a wide 4-stage telescopic handle matched with an effortless front opening design, offering easy access and maximum packing space. You can undo the central zip to expand the capacity by an extra 10% to 50 litres. It also features a heavy-duty polycarbonate exterior shell with a TSA-approved combination lock. And as with all of Level 8's cases, there are 360-degree spinner wheels which roll effortlessly on any surface. Every case also has a limited lifetime warranty for your peace of mind. The Adventurer carry-on also comes in these other cool colours, but there's also 2 check-in versions, 24 and 28 inch. Give the gift of Level 8 luggage to a loved one this Christmas and get a special discount of 10% off every order using code NONSTOP10. Just click the link above now or in the description below. Okay, time to check out the seats. Despite not being particularly wide, they have a good shape and a great amount of padding. Legroom is pretty tight, even more so with the seat in front reclined like here. There are adjustable armrests with the seat controls underneath. For reference, the furthest seat away from us now is fully reclined. Up above are personal reading lights and air vents. The AC works really well on the bus. Overall, not a great seat, but not terrible. No Wi-Fi or power sockets are available. Small bags and coats can be stored on the overhead racks. There is a toilet located next to my seat, however this was locked out of use for the whole trip. For about a third of today's journey, we're on 2-lane regional roads travelling at around 60 to 80 km per hour. However, just before we do join Highway 1, which runs centrally down Cuba's interior, we make a stop for both a toilet and a lunch break. There is a nice restaurant here serving fresh and pretty reasonably priced food. There are also free-to-use toilets. As with all of Cuba, it's cash only in either Cuban pesos or US dollars. Your international credit or debit cards won't work in this country, so bring plenty of cash. But the highlight for me were the cats and turtles that lived here. We stopped for around 30 minutes in total. Back on the move, and we are now heading towards Havana on the highway at a constant 90 km per hour. The roads are much smoother than I expected, and better than many in the UK to be honest. Just before we enter the outer Havana suburbs, we turn left and head towards the city's main airport, José Martí, where about half the passengers alight. This is the only airport I've been to where they keep the catering trucks and boarding steps in the public car park. We now have another 18 kilometres left to go from the airport to the main bus station just outside the city centre. So as the journey is now coming to an end, let me summarise this trip from Trinidad to Havana with Viazul on one of their tourist-focused intercity buses. Overall, it wasn't a bad journey. The seats aren't the best, but I've also been on much worse. The price was also reasonable, albeit very inflated for this part of the world. These buses run to all the main, longer distance tourist destinations and attractions you may want to visit on your trip to Cuba, and in the absence of many other options, you're kind of stuck with it. It was also very interesting to compare this experience to the train that I took from Havana to Santa Clara a few days prior, which you can check out by clicking the link above now. Let's just say that was a journey I'll never forget, the total opposite of this one, which just kind of worked. We finally arrive at a very rainy Havana National Bus Station on Independence Avenue, a few minutes late, around 5:30 PM. Have you been on any buses or trains in Cuba before? If so, which ones and on which routes? How did you find them? Let me know in the comments below. For the main bus terminus in a capital city, it was pretty dead, to be honest. There were a few other buses around, but no more with tourists either boarding or alighting. I really enjoyed my time in Cuba. It's such an untapped tourist opportunity and a beautiful country. I hope they can sort their economic and infrastructural problems out and welcome many more people to the island in the near future. I for one would love to come back and explore some more. After collecting my case from the hold, I headed towards the exit where throngs of taxi and tuk-tuk drivers were waiting to try and rip me off on the 3-kilometre trip to my hotel in the city centre. My guy started off at $15, but we eventually agreed on $5, which was still probably too much. But looking at the state of his taxi, he definitely needed it more than me. I gave him $10 in the end. I'm always open to new video ideas, so if you have something you'd like to see on the channel, then drop me a DM on Instagram, Blue Sky or Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching to the end, and I'll see you in the next video.